Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, July 7th, 2023. Before we click through the charts, I want to encourage you to please click like, please click subscribe, please share the content if you would with friends and colleagues, and please check out wickedstocks.com where we offer a full array of both a daily and weekly video analysis, just like the daily Tesla and Apple reports you see here on YouTube. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks every week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader to 3 to 5 month near term investor, always looking for a 20% move on the underlying stock itself. So let's jump to the charts. I will start with this one. We had a long-term buy signal 5 weeks ago or so above the 194.32 descending 18-month channel top. Our initial big picture objective is the rising channel top at 280.85, which we've tested twice now on the weekly chart over the last couple of weeks. And ultimately, I do see a good reason to anticipate a retest of the 414.49 all-time high, holding above this long-term channel top at 194.32. It's just that in the interim, we can, over the next month or two, fall back into the 180s, 190s long-term support. We don't have a signal for that per se. It's just that holding below this meaningful ceiling of resistance at 280.85 will allow selling pressures to build, the market to grow overbought, and to sell off. Now, in terms of the sell off part, in terms of, as we move into July, August, later July, August, it would be a settlement below 247.20, a level we're not going to see today, of course, but we may well see it over the next week or two, holding below 281.52, which is the same formation on the daily chart that I just showed you on the weekly chart at 280.85. So, on Thursday, we obviously opened lower, broke to a new weekly low, and settled negative on the day. We're still below the low 280s, 280.85 to 281.52. There's really nothing to do but be short if that is your inclination. I don't see a good reason to be long Tesla if your time horizon is anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to 1 to 2 months. Now, if your time horizon is that of a long-term investor, where your time horizon is through the rest of the year, for instance, then sure, being long, that was actually indicated 5 weeks ago above 194.32, anticipating the possibility of 414.49 perhaps by the end of the year. And if we were to close today, the week itself, above 280.85 by a 1% margin, that's a 283.66 settlement or higher today, 1% beyond 280.85, then that 414.49 all-time high, likely by the end of the year, quite possibly within 3 to 5 months. On the way up, I'll mention that if we close today above 280.85 by the 1% margin, I might as well just say if we close today at 283.66 or higher, then the 313.60 to 314.66 region becomes a 2 to 3 week target. And if you've been playing the short side this week, if you've been buying, the 245 or 250 out of the money puts, or the 190, out of the money puts that don't expire for at least several months. Once again, the 245, 250 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least several weeks. If you've done any of those and we close today or we come into the closing bell comfortably above 283.66, then my suggestion would be to cover those out of the money puts and in turn reverse and go long. Now that could be, if you're a 2 to 3 week swing trader, it's go long into the 313.60 to 314.66 region, because that becomes the 2 to 3 week play. If you're more of a 3 to 5 month position trader or holder, and we close today at 283.66, we're anticipating 414.49 over the next 3 to 5 months. So, if we are in the final 15 minutes of trade and we're closing and we're trading clearly above 283.66, you might actually reach for 313, 314 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. I might go a couple of months out on that to give yourself some time. So I think you get you understand that. Or you could buy the 415 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least 6 months. You might even go a year out on that. So, for the day itself, let's talk the day itself. we do have, and I don't show it here, but the move high was put out on Monday. The low of that high is 275.11. And yes, we broke 275.11 on Thursday. We closed above 275.11. And I've mentioned how, it's not really a great day trade for buying, but I really want to just sort of underscore it as an emboldened session containment level, because if we settle below 275.11 after having amply tested the low 280s longer term resistance, that should then set the market on a bearish course into next week. So if we close below 275.11, this 247.20 horizontal, this channel bottom, would be in reach by the end of next week, perhaps. No more than 2 weeks. 247.20 able to contain selling on a weekly basis, possibly through the balance of July. We could rotate back up from 247.20 within several weeks back into, the lower 280s again, 281.52. This is kind of I would call this our 2 to 3 week dynamic right now. And of course, if we close above 281.52, if we close at or above 283.66, the upside objective is once again 313, 314 handle resistance. But for right now, this is really what we're looking at as a 2 to 3 week downside objective. And if we settle today below 275.11, the low of Monday, then I think 247.20 just might be in reach by the end of next week. And that would be a great area to take profits. If you bought 245, 250 out of the money puts over the last few days, if we close below 247.20, that is the clear indication for me that we're likely to unravel all the way back into the 190s again within 3 to 5 weeks. And that's where I mentioned at the very beginning that holding below 280.85 will keep the 180s, 190s in reach by the end of August. And once again, it would be a settlement below 247.20 that would indicate that as a clear sell signal. Right now, I can merely say that holding below the 280s, the low 280s, will keep the 180s, 190s in reach over the next couple of months. I don't have a sell signal at play. That would come with a settlement below 247.20. Until then, we could trade, if you're a 2 to 3 week swing trader, it really is being short the low 280s, buying back the upper 240s, so forth and so on, back and forth as we move into July. If we close at or above 283.66 today, then you're playing the long side as a 2 to 3 week swing trader into the 313.60 to 314.66 area. Trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be said, and I really don't think so. I think I have said it all for Friday's Tesla report. Please click like, share, subscribe, and please check out wickedstocks.com. We'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.